Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Okay, Wednesday evening, the title are street barbershops in New York taking away jobs. Now, I'm focused on New York, the Bronx in particular, because I put a video in my community section earlier this morning, and I saw what appeared to be some type of Hispanic, possibly Dominican, but I'm not sure if he's illegal or undocumented, so I didn't want to say that, and then, he feels like I shamed him, and then he tries to sue me. So I'm just saying street barbershops for right now, okay? In case you don't know, barbershops traditionally for Black people have been meeting places, building spots, and things of that nature. The bond between fathers and Black sons, it means something to take your son to a barbershop when he's very young, to get him his blend, get his line done right. I mean, it's a very, very proud thing. So I'm asking you early, if there's anybody who is a barber or a master barber, okay, to please call in, educate us. I don't know the depths of what's going on in New York. I did pull some notes, though. I got the barbershop permit information for New York, the application fees, renewal fees, all sorts of things with regards to certain razors. Okay, and I've got some other information with regards to licenses and things, vendor license. Okay, so I'm somewhat prepared, but I'm a little concerned. I think we should have some type of town hall discussion here. I'm doing research in case you don't know. It's an early edition of the Star Report. The barbershops and the video, again, the guy looks like he's Dominican. Now, for those who understand the history of Dominicans and Black people, I mean, Dominicans are Black, but back in the early 80s, I used to come see some of my female cousins in the New York tri-state, and they always had the fly doobies, right? And they always used to brag about, I go to the Dominicans. Hell, I sent Janet this the video earlier this morning, and she responded to me talking about, the Dominicans been doing doobies. So I'm asking you, are you concerned? Do you think that these street barbers, and the one in the video, pardon me, is in the Bronx under the 4 train somewhere. He's got the propane tank. I don't know what that's for, but maybe it's to heat up the water to clean the utensils. Yes, I don't know. To clean the combs and things of that nature. Okay. Phone lines are open right now. I would like some type of expert, if you will, somebody who knows if you need some type of street permit, or is the street permit cheaper? Is it cheaper than getting a brick and mortar, And I also I'm not trying to clown anybody, but a lot of guys that cut your hair, if they're Black, they don't have a master barber's license, right? And you need a master barber to operate a barbershop. This I know because back in the late 80s, early 90s, I was renting out one of my a game room of sorts, and we were going to put a chair, 2 chairs in the corner. I mean, we had games and selling all sorts of shit. And we could not get the operating permit because we did not have a master barber, and you have to hang up the master barber's certificate in the establishment. Is it still like that? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, so I want to talk about this. I think this is important. I want to, again, this is a topic that's not trending, but we've been having some good discussions the last week or so, and these particular discussions do very well in terms of attraction and the right type of comments, quality. So, all right, I see a couple of people tapping on the phones. Hang on a second. I'm not sure if Deeds is available, but hopefully my audio and my spelling is okay. Good evening in the live chat. Okay. All right, and Diddy has got a new bond hearing November the 22nd. Did you guys know? Do you care? Why is there nobody rallying to get him out? I mean, did he do that much dirt allegedly? I see that Ray J is talking hella crazy, right? Ray J is saying that celebrities have reached out to him. Maybe I shouldn't repeat this. It might hurt Diddy's chance of getting out. Ray J is saying celebrities have reached out to him to pay some of the alleged victims so they don't get dragged into court. Does that sound right? I don't know. Anyway, let me get to the phone lines early. And if you're new to the show, today's topic and discussion, again, it's not trending, but I want to at least discuss this because that video that I watched, I said, whoa, this is a little concerning, you know? Area code 646. Good evening. Are you there on a Wednesday?
Hey, good evening, Star. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. Yeah, just now tapping in. Yeah, just like want to touch base on the whole barbershop issue. Being a person, like, I've got my hair cut in New York, preferably, like, I'm a black man, but preferably get my hair cut by Dominican barbers.
Oh, whoa.
I know it's crazy as it sounds. It's crazy. That's why I feel like I was compelled to call in. I had an experience. I'll never forget 149th Street. I go into black barbers, but like the straw that broke the camel's back. 149th Street, went to a barber.
Don't say the name of the establishment. Don't slander.
No, don't even remember the name. It's not even worth remembering or mentioning if I did. But yeah, long story short, it got so bad that, like, as the barber's lining me up, his homie stops cutting halfway through to help me out. And the second I realized I had two barbers working on my hairline, I'm like, nah, never again. Never again. And I ended up going to a Dominican barber, coincidentally, right under the four line. I don't know, like, I haven't seen the video, but like kind of under the four line. So yeah, just all in all.
Wait a minute. Now, was it a street barber under the four line in the Bronx?
No. Legitimate brick and mortar barber.
Okay.
Like Marshall Parkway. Yeah. Okay. Just under the four line. But
come on.
Ever since then, I just kind of made it a point to have. And I know there is a cultural issue within the Dominican population that they have to work on themselves. It's like, yo, they say they know black, but like they do know how to work on black hair. And it's just like, I feel like, I don't know. But yeah, either or, I don't think, but all in all, I don't think it'd be that much of an issue to have street vendor, like just the overpopulation, just the overall population of New York. I mean, you have people selling churros and stuff on the streets, and that's really not affecting business, not affecting local businesses. And can you really see yourself waiting in line under the four line on a sidewalk to like open, like wait for a street barber to open up? I just like, it seems like a cool concept, but I don't think like it has like just enough legs to
Can I jump in? Stay with me. I just want to jump in. You know, there's another reason why I'm asking this question tonight. You know, a couple of weeks ago, not that you had to have seen that show, but I was asking why aren't black men, you know, African Americans, if you will, applying to become mechanics? And then I pulled up some notes with regards to the number, the percentage that are applying to become mechanics. It was very, very low, very low. And a lot of people called it and said, well, it's not enough money now to even enroll in the courses, the classes to become a mechanic. But now being a mechanic or having a mechanic in your community, that's like the backbone of a community, you know? And
I agree.
The overall consensus was, no, that's not enough money. I said, okay, well, so this video, again, it's in my community section, and please take the time to watch that after we're done.
Can I speak?
Hold on one second. Let me just finish my point, and then I'll let you speak. Okay, so this guy may not be making money like people who have, you know, a barber shop inside a brick and mortar, but this could develop. This could pick up traction. Quote unquote, black people like yourself, you just admitted you prefer going to a Dominican to cut your hair. Take it from there.
I mean, all in all, like I feel like it could. You're right. I feel like it could pick up traction, but I don't know. I feel like just New York being what it is, and just a million and one hustles. I don't think everybody's really trying to stand outside on the corner, trying to cut hair. I feel like back into like just black mechanics. Just people aren't trying to do like tangible hand-to-hand trades anymore. Everybody wants to do something social media related, content based. I don't think you're gonna have that group. And I feel like I grew up I was raised in the tri-state area, but I went to high school in Kentucky, like Midwest area.
Okay.
And shoot, I feel like if I mean, currently I work in that digital space. I work with Photoshop. I work in e-commerce. And a part of me kind of wishes, like, if I could go back and, like, pick up one of those trades, because, like, I had an OG kind of talk me into welding. I want to say my senior year of high school. And I mean, like, it's an honorable trade. I mean, there's money there, but I just feel like...
So I have to take other calls. I appreciate you tapping in. Thanks
for taking my call. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. This will be some type of slow-paced town hall discussion. I'm a little concerned, you know. If you see Dominican barbers popping up in Atlanta, oh God, then you're gonna wish that you took this particular topic serious. Hold on a second. John Blaze got your donation, sir. Okay, are you tapping in, John Blaze? Salute to you. Okay, good to hear from John Blaze. Barbecue. Okay. Thank you, Cherie. I got your donation. Okay, I would love to talk to some folks with regards to this particular topic. Area code 203. Are you there? Good evening. On a Wednesday. Yes, no, maybe. Please do not kill the vibe. 203.
I am here, Star. I am here.
Hey, please pick up the phone. Come on, stop with the speakerphone. Please. Come on. Why do people do that?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Where do you want to start?
What's going on? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just calling to comment on the black barbershop or the Dominican barbershops. Yeah, they took over the barbershops business here in Connecticut too. Dominicans, they're just hustlers, man. They're just hustlers. It looks like Washington Heights out here. You know.
What part of Connecticut are you in, sir? Where are you in Connecticut?
I'm in Stamford.
Okay.
I'm in Stamford. So it's like mini Manhattan right next to Greenwich. Them dudes is everywhere. They got Dominican spots. They got food trucks. They're up and down Fairfield County. They're hustlers.
Hustling. Yeah.
So, black people. It was black owned. All the barbershops, they took over. There's one next to another. And they got the Dominican restaurant around the corner. They're just hustlers, man. They're hustlers.
All throughout the 80s, my favorite dish was bacalao. Do you know that food?
Of course. That's why Dominicans don't like Puerto Ricans. Because they think Puerto Ricans are lazy. You know that song? I'm sure you know. I'm sure you heard.
Yeah, but can we not go in that direction tonight, sir? Talk about
I'm not talking bad about Puerto Ricans. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are.
Sir,
you're trying to kick dirt on the PRs. Well, let's slow it down. Okay. So now I have very little knowledge here with regards to the street barbers, but I saw the video. It's in my community section. You got a guy. He looks like he's giving somebody either a lineup or a blend. He's got the propane tank.
Yeah.
Do you have to have I would imagine you have to have some type of vendor's permit to do that. Yes.
I mean, in New York City, especially, you would think so. But nowadays, I mean, they still sell food on the side of the street in New York City.
Yeah.
It depends where in New York. So it depends where in New York. I mean, you can't pull that off on 42nd Street, probably, but I mean, in Washington Heights, yeah.
Well, there's to my knowledge, there's no black-owned barbershops in 42nd Street. So we're talking on the outskirts. Not that you had to see the video, but it's in my community section. There's a guy up under the 4 train in the Bronx. And I'm a little concerned because, again, when I pulled some notes here with regards to the application fees to become a barber, it's very cheap. It's in between $8 and $15 now, and the renewal is $15. Do you need to be a master? Yeah, that's all it is. Do you need to be a master barber to cut hair on the street? Because if you know barbershops, you can't operate a barbershop unless you have one person that is a master barber, right?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
I believe so. But that sounds really cheap compared to like a hairdresser's. Because I dated a girl back in the day. She had it was cost a couple of $100. They got to study. They got to know this, that, about. Yeah, so it's pretty cheap for a barber. I mean, that's why a lot of dudes come out of prison, and that's a hustle. They go right to barbering because they learn it in prison. You know,
Yeah.
I don't go to a barbershop. I just don't got time. My barber used to be African American or whatever you want to go by, but the thing is, they're gossiping, and they come back to the lineup, and then you know it's not the same. It's like Focus, bro.
Right.
Dominicans, they're just hustlers, man. They're gonna stick on it.
Right.
Yeah, like it's just different. I got tired of it, and I just started shaping up on my own, and it's easy.
Yeah.
Paper is nothing. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Gone are the days when you're sitting in a chair and somebody walks into the barbershop and your black barber tells you to hold on. He then goes into the back and then he sells somebody a 50 sack of hydro, you know, and you're sitting there waiting. You go to the Dominican, he's right on it, no issues, no problems.
No. He said if you got to do something, he sends somebody else to do it. He might be sweating because he's taking a bump. Because, you know, you're probably his 20th head of the day. So it's just,
Now, hang on.
You got to keep going.
Hang on. So you're in what part of Connecticut again?
Stanford.
So they have Dominican male barber or unisex
we got
salons
so many
up there?
Dominican, I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Hair salons, nail salons, all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, the hair salons.
Mm-hmm.
They're right next to each other. I'm like, yo, how do they make money? But I guess it's just like, you know, back in the day, it was just enough for everybody. It's crazy. Yeah. Food trucks, they're just taking over. The Mexicans too. That's why it's like blacks, we like, you know, you can't. I'm Peruvian. You know, you got to come and get it.
Right.
You see, we come from with nothing.
Right.
You guys are born here. You're born here, and then you know you're mad because they're racist against us too. But we come in, you got to scrape the plate. You got to get it.
Right.
And that's what you know.
Do you still see black women going into the Dominican hair salons to get doobies, or is that like an old style? I don't know.
Yeah, hell yeah, they go. Yeah, they go to the Dominican girl, of course.
Yeah.
Wow. Of course, yeah.
Right.
They got the African ladies still. They might have they got one African hair braiding, like official spot. They might have, you know, underground spots, but I don't know. But they dominated the city.
Okay.
Barbershops. Yeah, and I heard it runs all the way up to Bloodsport, Bridgeport.
Oh wow.
You know about Bridgeport?
Yeah.
They're all the way up there too.
Bridgeport. Yeah.
But the Puerto Ricans still got the barbershops because you know that's predominantly Puerto Rican owned.
Yeah.
Or territory up in Bridgeport. Or in blacks. You know, but whatever.
I appreciate the call, man. Salute.
All right.
Okay.
Salute.
Thank you. Okay. Hey, folks, I'm busy. Who's calling me? Stop calling me. Let me turn this phone down. Mr. Biggs, I got your donation, sir. Thank you. Are you tapping in? I do not see a message, but I got your donation. Appreciate you. Guys, also, I have another showrunner coming up a little bit later. Is artificial intelligence ungodly? Now, you know, I'm a non-believer in the theory of God, but I want to discuss that for those of you who are God-fearing. A little bit later, is artificial intelligence ungodly? And let me just think about this. Let me put this on the table so you can think about this. Laughing. Humans laugh, right? Do robots or synthetic life forms laugh? No. You can program them to laugh. But for the most part, they make decisions that are supposed to be logical and not necessarily within your best interest. So coming up a little later is artificial intelligence ungodly, okay? Let me go to area code 475. Hey there, 475. We're having a discussion with regards to street barbers in New York and possibly other states. Are you there? 475.
Yes. Hello?
Yes. Good evening. How are you, sir? Good evening.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So you're talking about Connecticut, right?
No, I mean
you're talking about barbers. You're talking about barbers in general, right?
Street barbers in general.
What?
Street barbers in general. There's a video on my community section. If you saw it, if not, don't worry about it. It's in the Bronx, and the barber, he appears to be Dominican or some type of Hispanic. I don't know if he's illegal, but my question is pertaining to, you know, black men for the most part. This tradition of barbershops, might they be soon out of jobs? Black men.
All right. So hear my side of it, right? I feel like our people have been so brainwashed that we don't do like labor work, you know what I'm saying, anymore. You know what I'm saying? To a certain
Who is our people, sir? Who is our people?
talking about black people.
Okay. And
No,
let me just remind you, sir. Sorry, let me just remind you, no profanity, please. No cursing.
No, I'm not about to swear. I'm not about to swear.
Go ahead.
So our people have been so brainwashed, you know what I'm saying? Because when immigrants come to our country, you know what I'm saying, and they want to do what they need to do to earn their living, they do what they need to do to earn their living. You know what I'm saying? And then not knowing that, you know what I'm saying, because so how do I explain it? Like pretty much Dominicans have taken over everything. Like when they came here to America, they understood the American dream and they attacked that. You know what I'm saying? And some of us have been so brainwashed between Willie Lynch syndrome and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That
I just asked this man not to use profanity. I just asked him.
Sorry, I'm not trying to swear.
Sorry, I thank you for your call. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Folks, I want to monetize this video, and I need you to watch the profanity. You know, if you're cursing, then I have to stay up and do an edit job. I don't want to do that after the show. He kept saying us and we, and I don't know who he's talking about or who he's representing. Let me say this early, in case you don't know. I went my last year of high school, class of 82, I went to George Washington High School, Uptown Manhattan. We used to call it G-Dub. 99.9% Dominican. Hell, I was perpetrating the fraud, pretending to be Dominican. Never had any issues. I used to hang out with Dominicans. Love. So I'm not hating on Dominicans. That's not where I'm going. I'm respecting what I think is going down. People always say respect the hustle. Okay, so there's a video in my community section. Please look at it if you haven't. I'm respecting the hustle, but I'm just not sure about the permits, other things that are required. I see something here that says New York rules with regards to the Department of State, statutory authority, public health law does not name razors specifically in its sanitation requirements. So you can get what type of cut on the streets. I want to know this. Dominican barbers no black hair. Hold on a second. Let me get Diddy's information back on the screen. And salute to Stacy Galore. Stacy, I see you in the live chat. Let me make sure I have Stacy's banner ready to go. www.stacygalore.com. All right. Folks, please watch the language, or I'm just going to drop your call, and then I'm going to have to edit out your call of the rebroadcast. Sheesh. Let me go to area code 347. Wednesday evening, please watch the language. Are you there? 347. We're having a discussion.
What's going on, Star? This is Felix from Edenwall again.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. BX.
The BX in the building. You know how we do it. So, yeah, the Dominicans, they worked hard to get their groove on, but COVID started all that outdoor stuff and mobile. Now they got mobile vans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know. They got mobile vans going around doing the barbershop thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, the master barber has to have a barber's license in the shop.
Right.
And everybody can rock off of that.
Right.
And do their thing. But us, I'm Puerto Rican, so the Puerto Ricans, we had it on lockdown early back in the days, and in your time, same time, me and you around the same age. We had it on lockdown, and like anything else, the youngins that come from our era never followed up from the old school, so they kind of like let it go. They started to get real jobs and stuff like that. So the Dominicans said, "Hey, let me rock." And one led to another, and another led to another, and that's how you got all these, shops now. And like you said, they stay focused. Or the last caller, 2 callers ago, said they stay focused. They on point.
Yeah.
That line is crispy clean.
So the video in my community section, I'm sure you've seen stuff like that, over the years. He seemed like he had a sanitary area. What's the propane tank for? To heat up the water, to wash the razor and the clippers? What's the propane tank for? Just curious.
Yeah, it was probably for those reasons too.
Okay.
To be sanitary,
right.
To have it make it look like, yo, I'm clean out here.
Mm-hmm.
To
put a hot towel on your face, I would imagine.
Oh, that's and that's automatic in any barbershop. You could go in any barbershop.
Right.
I go to my barber. That guy doesn't even, my man puts it. He gets me right, but he doesn't do that. But my man, 2 barber chairs along the way, my man, the Jamaican, he got the whole towel going on too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Now, hang on a second, Felix. You and I have spoke before, and you're in your late 50s, right?
Correct.
Okay. You actually go to a Jamaican barber? I don't believe that.
Nah. The barber that's in there is really mixed.
Okay.
It's really mixed. It's really mixed. There's a couple of guys Jamaican.
So what type of barber do you go to in New York?
My barber's black. He's been doing it for over 20-some years.
Okay.
I started out with the Puerto Ricans. My father had me with the old man, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then back in the early 80s, he couldn't rock the flat top, man. So I had to go to the black man. I had to go to my boys and get me fixed up right with the flat top and the fade. You know what I mean? The old school guys didn't know how to do that. Now this generation of barbers are still creating that and doing that and whatnot. But the salons too. But you gotta also remember, Star, and that's another topic for another day. A lot of these shops too with these Dominicans is fronts. They do a lot of stuff on the back door.
Right. Well, listen, the Italians have been doing that for decades as well. But now, hold on a second. I really want to dig here. I mean, I watched the video and I'm reading the comments. And then they were talking about coming soon outdoor nail salons. So now you're Puerto Rican from the BX.
Correct.
Is being a barber a dying black business tradition, if you will? Because I don't know if you heard me a couple of weeks ago, not that you had to, I was asking about black car mechanics, why the enrollment is so far down. And multiple people called in and said, it's not enough money being a mechanic. And I'm like, okay. So in your professional or knowledgeable opinion, what about barbershops now? Is that a thing of the past for black men soon?
Nah. They still pulling up everywhere. You go to some areas, there's 2 and 3 on the block. Salon 2 and 3 on the block, like homeboy said. They still getting there because it's about clientele too, though, Star. It's about clientele. That clientele is still heavy out there. That these barbers can still get their bread off of clientele, and people bringing them over. The kids as well. You got a lot of single moms coming through. Taking them to the shop and whatnot. Right. Nah, the barbershop trade, indoors, a store. Nah, that's not going nowhere.
Okay.
Now the mobile is to another level because the mobile makes you go on appointment wise to somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's driveway or wherever.
Yeah, well, I don't have stats on that, Felix. But I more so want to focus on the outdoor street barbershops and right. What people think about that, and is that something to be concerned about? But hey, man, good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
Yo, pleasure, man. Yo, yes, salute.
Okay, Felix tapping in from Edenwald, houses in the BX. I don't know. I let him speak, but I don't necessarily think that. Hold on a second, guys. I forgot to do something here to the screen. I don't know if I necessarily agree with him. I could be wrong, but I think it's kind of I don't want to say it's dying, but it appears to be slowing down, if you ask me. Dominicans know how to cut black hair. That's a whole fact. You're bringing area code 689. Hey, good evening. Are you there? We're having a discussion which is not trending. Are you up to speed on the topic? 6.
Yes, I am. Good evening, Star.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Yes. I've been listening to the topic, and because I'm from the Bronx,
Okay.
and now I've transplanted down to Florida.
Okay.
And what I have been seeing is, because yes, when I first came down here, it took a while for me to find a good black barber.
Okay.
Because there weren't a lot on it, and when they were here, they didn't lag. So now I've been the barbershop I go to, 90% Latino. It's not just Dominicans. You got Cubans, you got Puerto Ricans.
Right.
My barber is black, right? That he's one of 2 that's in there. And he's been my barber for 15 years because I've been here 22 years.
Okay.
But what I've seen is that black people, especially the young ones, they come in there to get a haircut, but that's not something that they want to do.
Right.
That's not, even though it's a perfectly good career move for a lot of them, and they can build off that. They don't seem to equate that I come in here sometimes weekly or bi-weekly and pay this man, and sometimes even some women up in there, but they don't seem to equate that with, this is a good career. I can make money. Because what I've been seeing is a lot of the Latinos are opening up stores. Now they will take barbers from black, Spanish. They're not discriminating.
Yeah.
But you don't.
They will let you rent a chair.
Barber.
They'll let you rent a chair.
Exactly. You renting a chair because to them it's business.
Right.
But I don't see, because as long as I've been going, this barbershop has many chairs because he's grown, the Latino owner has grown it. He's got a couple of business. There's only 3 black barbers in both his businesses, and with both businesses there's about 17 chairs. 17, 18 chairs.
If I can jump in and ask you,
Sure.
You're a barber that you've been going to see for 15 years. Is he a master barber? Does he have his certificate?
Yes.
Okay.
He has license. He's licensed because in Florida, he is supposed to be licensed. Now, a lot of barbershops have unlicensed barbers, just like you have undocumented workers. Yeah. And if you get caught, then you get fined, and that has happened because I've seen that happen in that barbershop.
Yeah.
But they try to get licensed barbers, but it's just like even when you're going with the farms and all that. Sometimes they don't have the money to get licensed, or they're not documented where they can go legally to get licensed, but they have the skill.
Let me ask you this. Does having a felony prevent you from getting a master barber's license? I don't know.
You know what? I don't know per se, but a lot of barbers that I've known have had felonies, and they also have a license. Okay. So I don't believe that prevents you from getting a license, but I believe that's more of a state-to-state thing versus, just is it a general thing?
So overall, my question, and you said you're from the Bronx, you've moved down to Florida. Should black men, foundational black Americans, ADOS, should they be concerned about, street barbers that appear to be on the rise, or somebody else intruding on that trade? That was a good trade. Should they be concerned?
Yes, personally, yes, because I remember, I think it was about a month ago or so, you talked about auto mechanics who are black. We don't see a lot of them no more.
So that's another reason why I brought this topic to the table, because I got killed. I'm suggesting that you enroll to be a mechanic, and people kept saying, ain't no money in that. Nobody want to do that. I said, okay.
Listen, you know what? When this came up, that's exactly what I thought about.
Right.
That 1-1, and I'm sitting here looking at it, and it made me think. Yeah, I've been going to get my car fixed. I think there was twice in maybe a couple of years that I've actually dealt with a black mechanic.
Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot of Latino, Hispanics, white, but no blacks. And the same thing in the barbershops. And I'm like, these are good trades.
Yeah.
I heard some people saying, even with the mechanic things, there's no money. Yes, that may be true to some extent, but what I see is when I go to regular garages and all, they're making money because they're charging me out. They're charging me. So they're
figuring out ways to make money. Yeah, they're figuring out ways to make money. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great evening, and I'll continue to listen to the show.
Salute. Let me ask you another question because, again, I'm not sure if that guy in that video that's in my community section that I'm urging you to watch, maybe he wasn't Dominican. Maybe he was from Ecuador or Venezuela. Maybe he knows how to cut that black hair. I mean, the guy who was sitting in the chair, we can only see the back of his head. He was black. Or some type of, melanated man. Will the street barbers, and I'll focus on the New York tri-state for now. Will the street barbers force foundational black Americans to do better business? I don't want to broad stroke, and maybe I shouldn't marginalize, but there has always been complaints about, black customer service. It's not just, going to a barbershop, but, you go to buy something, black restaurant or something like that. Hey, attitude. Varnell, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. I would like a lot of callers tonight because, again, I have very little knowledge here with regards to this particular topic. Rob Lowe, good to see you in the live chat. Rob Lowe, do you want to tap in? This is a research show for the most part. Let's see if I can bring some other folks in here to join this discussion. Area code 913. Are you there with regards to the topic? Street barbers. 913.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Star?
I'm good, sir. I'm good.
I was going to tell you, I used to live in the Bronx, and you had to pass like 3 Spanish barbershops to get to the Haitians up on the concourse.
Okay.
So it didn't make much sense to go all the way up on the concourse. But the last time I had a black barber, it was a gay dude who hit on me.
Okay.
And I never went back because, like, he followed me outside, told me he had a car. He told me he was selling weed and stuff. Right. And I was like, nah, I only smoke weed with girls. and then he was like, oh, I see. Right. And I never went back, but the Spanish they took over all the spots in the Bronx, to my knowledge.
Spanish speaking, but are you sure they were Puerto Rican, Dominican, Colombian?
I'm not sure if they were Dominican or Puerto Rican,
mm-hmm. but Spanish speaking.
It was
Spanish speaking.
Spanish speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had to go so far to find a black one. This was like around Cedric and Tremont.
Okay, I know the area. Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's no black barbers except for that dude. He was the only one.
Mm. So that you didn't go back after he tried to hit on you?
Nah, I looked in the window, but I didn't go back.
Yeah. If I can go left for a second, I saw a video on Instagram. Some black barber, he streams himself, or he takes videos giving people lineups and stuff like that, and he touches their lips on like some real zesty type shit.
What?
Now,
what?
It's funny, but it's like, maybe they're doing too much in the black barbershop streaming live. I don't know. I'm rambling, but
yeah, and don't let them lean on your neck, man. A lot of them dudes try to lean on your neck.
Okay.
And they get too close. You gotta tell them back up, and they want to shave you and all of that stuff. You're like, nah, you ain't gonna be leaning all on my chin money.
Yeah. So this trade, do you think it's a dying trade for black men?
Yeah, I moved down south. There are black barbers down here, but I haven't seen one in a long time when I stayed in the Bronx.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and I met you a long time ago up at Gilmore's.
Okay. Wow, it's back in the days, Gilmore's. Yeah.
I see his son on his show sometime, but I don't even know if Gilmore still got a spot.
I don't know. But okay.
Good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, salute, man. Thank you. Okay. All right. Someone sent an email. Tyson, what? Mike Tyson Sunday? Are you talking about the Mike Tyson fight? When is that fight? It looks so contrived, fake, and just I don't want to see Mike Tyson at this stage. But if that's what you're talking about, thank you. Sunday, I got your donation. Guys, Diddy has an upcoming bond hearing on November the 22nd. Do you care? 2 days ago, I was fixing a cup of coffee, and I just said to myself, damn, Diddy's locked up. Now, I mean, I know he's locked up, but it hit me. Damn, they got Diddy. Anyway, East New York Schwecker got your donation. Thank you, sir. If you want to tap in, let me know. Oh, here's Big Elvis, the chef, Rosenberg. Good to hear from you, sir. On Wednesday, Elvis, are you there?
Big Elvis, the chef, Rosenberg. I am here, Star.
What's cracking, man? You see the topic. It's not trending. I'm just exploring this. What do you think?
I think it's just like baseball. There's no more black people in baseball. There's no more black people in the barbers.
Okay.
It's like, I think Yvette Carnell said that by the year 2053, the black man will be obsolete economically. And it has a lot to do with these little places like the barbershop. These are actual, this is where like the heartbeat of community lives. And I know you've opened up our minds to understand that we live in neighborhoods, not communities. And it seems like the powers that be have done everything they can to make it so difficult just to come up with the $2,000 down to join the school for your master barber. And then it's $5,600. And then it takes 2 years.
Whoa.
And in between that, you have to work for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to rent a chair, and then you're noticing that the person that you work for really doesn't understand business, or you're trying to get a commission where you're getting 60-40, and you become, what's it called, disenchanted, or you become the wind gets knocked out of your sails when you realize that this business is not all that it's cracked up to be. And it's very difficult to get your mind right when you're like going this uphill battle. It's like Hamburger Hill for the barbers out there. Even the Dominican ones that seem to be flourishing, most of their barbers don't have license. There's only one guy with the master license. Some of them are juggling master license between barbershops, trying to run behind the health department that's on their necks.
Right.
It's just so it's just so difficult because you have to have a sink. So that means if you have a guy who has a van,
right,
and he's converted his van into a barbershop, he has so much paperwork that he has to fill out in order to make this right. And I think he has to, like, in other words, he can't do it himself. He has to get somebody who was a veteran to be part of that in order for him to get the license. It's not easy. They're making it very difficult for the black man to make it to the major leagues.
Now, hang on a second, Elvis. The numbers that you just put out there, you said 2,000 what? Are those numbers accurate?
Yeah, they're accurate. It's a $2,000 down payment for to go to the schools, and then the schools average between $4,600, $5,600, and like $8-9 grand for that master barber, which classifies you as a, what's the word they use? It's not an esthetician. It's another word they use that you will be classified as, and that's like the most expensive one. It leaves me because I tried to get into the barber business. When I was in my 20s and stuff like that in Harlem, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It was very difficult to get people focused on paying their chairs on time. So, it's just. Here's the thing: a lot of people that get into this business, they don't understand business. They think they're going to charge somebody $350, $400 for a chair, and that is somehow going to pay a $12,000 a month rent.
Right.
It ain't going to work.
Right.
So you get this. There's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of hatred in between them.
Now, hang on a second, Elvis, if I can jump in. I remember up in Connecticut years ago, bunch of different girls that I was either, doing business with or talking to. There was some school up there that they used to go to learn how to do hair and how to store at the different temperatures, the stuff that they use to do hair. I forget what that school was called. A lot of females used to go up there from New York as well, up in Connecticut. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah, Barbers on or something like that. Barbers on or
but it was one of those schools.
Yeah,
some type of academy where you go and it was
right. And it was an academy. Yeah.
No, it was the real deal, and you would get a certificate. Now, I also tried to. I had a couple of stores in Brooklyn over the years, but we had one store. We were going to make it like a bagel shop in the mornings, and then rent out some barbershop chairs. I could not find a master barber, and I remember, a lot of people say, "Yo, I cut hair. I do great jobs." I said, "Okay, but I need a master barber." I was never able to open that business up. Never able.
Yeah, it's you're going to run up against a wall because a person who's a master barber, he's going to be probably a little resentful if he couldn't get the money to open up his own spot and has to break someone off, the boss, and then he gets no real money until the rent is paid and the water bill is paid and all the other things of the insurance. There's so much.
Yeah. But
let me tell you, here in New York, they got a ton of people that are doing these barbershops in these like Mercedes-Benz vans and accessory vans, and they're getting shut down by the health department. It ain't easy. It ain't easy out there, man. These guys they dealing with a huge hurdle in order to win. So I know there's a bunch of them. Like you go to Denny Mo's in Harlem, and they're doing like you gotta schedule in your time to, they're becoming more like that because these guys are so rare, and they're charging, some of them are charging $150 for a $40 haircut. So it's getting crazy out there. But a lot of it is like what I said when I first opened up, and that is that everything is in place to have the black man at zero by 2053.
Yeah. Well,
and these are the things. These are the waves that happen, and it's sad and it's scary. And I'm glad you're doing shows like this, Star. It ain't got to be a trending topic for it to be an amazing
listen,
one.
When I do these types of shows, we get great calls. People in the comments stay on topic, so it does benefit, even if I don't get a bunch of views off of this particular topic. But also, let me say thank you to Crystal in the live chat. She said it's called Cosmetology School. Yeah.
Right.
Cosmetology School in Connecticut. I'm going to Google that. But Elvis, great to talk to you, man.
All right. Are you getting my Cash App?
Yes, I am. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah.
All right, good. I just want to make sure. All right, peace.
Thank you.
All righty. Ciao.
Yeah. Connecticut. Yep, up in, I forget which area, but I had a girlfriend, a worthless bitch. Oh, she could braid the hell out of hair, but I not that I was going to pay for her to go to cosmetology school, but I was suggesting to her. She was too busy doing other things. Craig, I got your donation. Okay, 484, he's on the line. Give me a second, so I'm coming to you. Guys, if you're just now joining me, this is a town hall discussion of sorts. It's a research edition. The topic is not trending, but again, in my community section is a video that I watched early this morning, and I was just a little, concerned. Not that I haven't seen things like that on the streets of the Bronx, because that video is from the BX, but I said, wow. I mean, I wonder if the Adams administration, Eric Adams, mayor of New York, I'm wondering if he was giving people like, leniency, migrants, if you will, illegals, the ability to just go on the streets and cut hair. Hell, I saw a restaurant in Manhattan selling guinea pigs, rotisserie style. Things are out of control in the New York tri-state. Hey, 484, is this Craig tapping in? 484.
Yes, Star, what's up? Peace.
Hey, peace, man. How are you? Thank you for your support. I have no knowledge here. I'm letting you know right now. But I was interested in the topic. Where do you want to start?
Absolutely. I want to start where, first of all, I want to go back to the black barber is not dying, first of all.
Okay.
Right? And the reason why some people might say the black barber is dying because since 2000, the black community switched hairstyles. We're not getting fades and boxes and all that stuff no more.
Okay.
It's more dreadlocks now.
Okay.
So if it's more dreadlocks now, so it's less barbers because the less black clientele, they wear more dreadlocks or the nappy afro. So they don't need haircuts no more, especially with the dreads. They just need to shape up. So it might look like that the black barber is dying, but it's more chicks now and guys doing dreadlocks now. As you see, it's more dread shops everywhere in every city you go to.
Okay.
So I'm years ago, about 2025, I taught over in Puerto Rico at their hair show, and they told me it was 130 something schools, and they all trying to get to the United States because we make a lot of money, black barbers, and they all came in the last 20 years. With that, the borders open. So if you got 50,000 Latinos coming across, it's easily 10,000 barbers coming across the border. So New York is flooded with undocumented migrants and they barbers. That's fine. Get your money. So that's why you're starting to see them out on the street because they don't understand the business of going in the shop because they don't have no license, but they got to eat. So I'm not mad at them. Get your money.
So they're not intruding upon black barbers, you know, who have been the cornerstone of the black community, neighborhoods, if you will, over the decades, centuries. They're not intruding. These what appears to be migrants. I'm not going to say illegals because I don't know if the guy in my community section is legal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, they not. To me, they not intruding because once again, the dynamics of the black barber, what you know about the black barbershop, that era is over. Sit in the barbershop all day, a lot of black guys gossiping, talking stuff, that's over. It's appointment only, high price, get your money, because at the end of the day, it's less and less clientele from the black guy. It's only a few black barbers that can cut everybody. Those are real barbers. Majority of the barbers, 85% of the barbers in the country don't have no license.
Yeah.
Along with that the government, I think California was the first state that's trying to eliminate the cosmetology and barber's license altogether. You just need a license to be clean. So I think 4 states already had passed that law. So we get to a point where you're not even going to need a license to cut hair.
Hang on. You said California did do away with
California
that?
They are. I think California was the first state that did away, was attacking the beauty salon and barber's license. They was trying to shut it all down, starting with the barbers first.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So that's why you see the African braid shops don't need no license. That's why so many of them.
Right. Wow.
Because they don't need a license to do hair. Your guy on the phone I listened to talked about putting it to like the baseball, Major League Baseball. Let's go to that. Modell's had a commercial advertising on TV during the NBA Finals. A Mexican barber come to the United States with a car, learn how to cut hair. Now he's doing African American NBA players in the NBA.
Yeah.
But the United States barber, black African American barber, FBAs that you say, are battling the Latino barbers to get the black clientele. But yet, if that black barber goes to Major League Baseball, he will never get the Spanish guys to cut their hair. They will stick with their own. So it is a racial dynamic in the barber industry.
Yeah.
It's just a hidden thing.
Well, hang on, because you see, that's what I was trying to get to, the racial dynamic, as you just pointed out. But at first you said they're not intruding. So, I mean, listen, other groups, it's no secret, tend to pool their resources better. I saw something a couple of years ago. I forget what the actual numbers were or what the numbers may be like now, but in the Chinese and the Jewish communities, that their dollar circulates a certain amount of times. In the quote-unquote black neighborhood, it circulates for about 30 minutes before it leaves the community. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
but I still don't think I've been in the barber business, 5 shops. I travel across the country every year, all the time at all the trade shows. I'm teaching it everywhere. I've seen it switch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen the switch come, but at the end of the day, I still say the switch came because more and more kids growing up with dreadlocks, they don't have to go to the barbershop.
Well, that's gonna pass at some point, you know.
We hope so. So that eliminated the black barber.
Okay.
With just their own kind, because now that you got a kid that's born, you cutting his hair from 3 to easily 15 years old, but that kid going dreads the whole time. So the clientele come down. So if that black barber don't educate his skills and learn how to do every texture, because everybody intermarrying right now, so the texture has changed. There's no automatic black hair no more. It's mixed. So that's why the Latinos are geared to cut that hair better, because once they Latino, they might look black or Dominican, and they speak 2 languages.
Yeah.
So the black barber, American black barber, only speak English. He can never get that Spanish clientele.
Yeah.
Unless his hand is truly that hot.
Yeah, I appreciate the knowledge here. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to see that particular video, but my last question.
I watched the video. I watched the video when you started the show.
Okay.
I watched the video.
Okay.
Your client said that the propane is used to clean his razors. I don't know what the propane is for, but no one using straight razors like back in the day no more. They're using disposable razors. Okay. You don't have to clean a disposable razor. You break it off, use a clean razor. Wow. So he don't got a strap on the side of the chair. So that eliminates the guy said he was using the propane for. I don't know what he used the propane for.
Yeah.
He's not using propane to wash his hands because he's not washing his hands.
Probably heat up some type of food and selling the food in between, giving out cuts.
Some type of food. Every barber, I'll go to the Bronx too. All them barbers in the Bronx. This is how nasty the game is, because everybody said he clean his hands. Every barber in the Bronx, not in the Bronx, across the country, they're using a brush to brush your hair to get the loose hair that they cutting off. So just imagine, Star, they brush your hair, loose hair. They brushing 20 guys a day, loose hair in that brush. They can't clean the brush. So blood transferring from one client to the next client, to the next client, to the next client.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Is hepatitis a concern with barbers? I saw one of the comments of people talking about hep C. Is hepatitis something that is a concern in that world of barbershops?
It can be. It can be, because once again, started using a brush. So just they brush it and they breaking the first layer of skin.
Right.
It's not bleeding yet, but you're transferring that if that guy was bleeding or had a disease in his hair, you're using a brush. The next client come in, you use the same brush. You intertangle the blood in the hair. So it's up to a week later too. Guy scratching his head, got bumps on the side of his neck. They don't believe it's coming from the barber.
Damn. Okay. Hey, Matt, thank you for the info. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, Star, you was one of my clients used to work for you 2 years ago.
Okay, I don't remember who, but I appreciate the call.
Yeah, Young Spick.
I don't know that name, but all right. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. We're getting somewhere. Michelle, I got your donation. She says, I don't mean to be rude, but black barbers is a dying trade. Oh, wow. She's talking a little crazy. She says she would never take her sons to a black barbershop. And she is black. Wow. I don't necessarily want to promote that type of thing, but she did send in a donation. I asked you guys earlier, or maybe I was in some way making a statement. Are there black? No. Are there Dominican or barbers in the Atlanta metro area that are something other than black? Let me look in the live chat real quick. I bumped into some guys in Douglasville, Georgia, a couple of years ago when I was driving through Douglasville. When I went to I think it was one of the Krogers. And the guys who, were renting, maybe they own the building, I don't know. They're like, yo, Star, we just moved down here from Jersey. And I said, oh, what's up? And they were giving me their cards, you know. I never went inside, but let me look in the live chat. Guys, are there Hispanics? Are there Hispanics cutting hair, giving facials, manis and pedis in the Atlanta metro area? Yeah, Felix said Puerto Ricans, he said Puerto Ricans had it on lock back in the days. That must have been the 70s. I never in my life saw a Puerto Rican barber. Let me go to Miami, Florida. Area code 305. Good evening. This is a non-trending topic. 305, you there?
How you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm here, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, just with the topic with the Dominicans, the Hispanics, whatnot, taking over the black trade of barber, of being a barber. Sorry, I don't think they're taking over. Myself, I used to own 2 salons.
Okay.
And in my salons, I had 2 barbers. And then in terms of like the codes and having a master barber, I had a master beautician. So it was under the women's licenses. So the 2 women, they were master beauticians. So we were able to, just operate normally. The thing I saw just owning 2 salons and having barbers' chairs open, there were a lot of guys that would try to come in and, rent a booth from me, rent a chair. I just didn't have the space because I was already had other tenants in there. But there were, a consistent amount of people coming in wanting to just have a spot to work out of. So I don't think it's being replaced. And as far as me, I have a black barber. I've always had a black barber. I think what has happened is with cutting hair, it doesn't get any more difficult. It doesn't change as a job or as a trade. So, the tools and resources you need to cut hair always essentially remain the same. But inflation and what my barbers ran into was real estate inflation because I have to keep raising my rent. I have to raise my rent to raise their prices, so they have to raise their prices. But there's no way to justify it. So I think a lot of black barbers have, as Elvis was saying, they've realized that the barriers to just being in a shop, they've understood that. So they've just changed their business model. We've got the by appointment. My barbers now, they do by appointment. So you can only, book with them ahead of time. A lot of people are doing the home shops and the mobile shops to try to, decrease their overhead and maximize the profit. So I don't think they're replacing.
Let me ask you a question.
That may be
let me ask you a question. Now, I've seen mobile, barbers over the years. Is that really profitable? I mean, and are the requirements more, heavy for what you need and the preparation? And I think you have to. The water has to be at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, right?
I'm not sure what the temperatures are, like the fine print and details. I'm not sure of those. I'm just more landlord style.
Okay.
But in terms of the mobile shops, I am related to a couple people who are barbers. Like I said, I know my barber. One of my cousins, he went the mobile style, and from because he has so much clientele, he has a high amount of clientele. Having a shop was actually it was a detriment to him. So he is profitable with his mobile style. He can pull up on you. He can pull up on you with the van, or you can meet him somewhere. He'll give you a cut right there in the van, or you can meet him at his house in his spot. But with that, so he's making money because of the clientele. It all really comes down for barbers, that clientele. If you don't have a lot of people, hitting you up for a cut, you're not going to make profit regardless if you have mobile or in the store. But if you got the clients, you'll be making money all day. So
now hang on. I can appreciate everything you said about the clientele. Yes, once upon a time, people would go to a barbershop and sit there for 45 minutes, right?
Right.
And other people would come in and you would say, oh, who's next? And, and it was a camaraderie, if you will, you wait, you have a conversation, you're talking some, whatever, you're talking. In today's day and age, correct me if I'm wrong, people don't have that type of time anymore. Everybody's, real time, got to be somewhere. I'm checking the mentions. Oh, I got to go here. You know, it's different. So if we are a different society, and we are, and you see a Dominican barber, you know, he's outside and he's got the propane tank, whatever that's for, I still don't know, and he can give you the blend and the fade and whatever it is, you know, within 15 minutes. Are you gonna take him up on that, or are you gonna wait 2 hours, call your barber, make an appointment? What are you gonna do?
I mean, for me personally, I'm locked in with my barber, so I just make my appointments. We got a routine, but and I'm almost on the South, so it's a little different. They can't just cut hair on the street here. Yeah. If you do that, the health department and codes, they'll come get you off the street. Okay. But like for New York, I understand it's a different environment. So people, they are walking in motion. Most people don't have cars and, you know, that type of thing. So for them, I can understand they are getting that market leverage because, like you said, people are busy. Well, I don't want to go deal with that. And then, you know, another thing that happens with barbers that's really big back in the day.
Well, hang on a second. What part of the South are you in? What part of the South are you in?
Right now, I'm in Tennessee. I know my area code says Florida. I used to live there. I'm in Tennessee, so like mid-South.
Okay. Now, I don't know about Tennessee, but here's something I think we should keep our eye out for: the Atlanta metro area. If the Dominicans, Venezuelans, and the Ecuadorians start going down there, cutting hair on the streets, you might have a problem because they got the water boys down there, right? All out in the street, doing all sorts of crazy
down there
cash app scams, allegedly. So, you know, Atlanta's open. Atlanta's open for the bullshit. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, Atlanta, I guess it's going to depend on your market because, you know, if you're in motion and you don't have time, you just pull up and get a quick 20 chop from the Dominican, from the Puerto Rican kid. Yeah. But another thing I was saying, the bigger issue with the customer service aspect is back in the day, you go to the shop, you waiting already 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Someone walk in, they jump right in front of you in line, right? They say, oh, well, you know, I already had him lined up. Now you wait another 30 minutes, another hour. That type of thing, that adds up over time. And, you know, people remember that, and they look for a better solution. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think they're being replaced.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
You too, Star.
Thank you. Okay. Guys on the screen, Sky Saunders. That's Skylar Saunders. Daily content. Skylar, are you out there, sir? Do you want to chime in on any one of these topics? He's one of my sponsors. Anybody want to address my second showrunner? Is artificial intelligence ungodly? Now, we've been having the discussions here over the couple of years, actually. I've asked you guys some questions. I don't troll, you know, people who are believers just because I'm a non-believer, but, you know, I can no more prove the non-existence of a God than you can prove the existence of a God. So we agree to disagree. But with regards to AI, artificial intelligence, my question, is it ungodly? Earlier, I asked you about something, you know, laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Some people would say laughing comes from a spiritual place. Can synthetic life forms laugh naturally? Not to my knowledge. So if you can't laugh, and again, something as simple as a laugh. Now, a synthetic life form, a robot can make decisions based upon logic, you know, but would that be considered ungodly? And would that be something to be concerned about? The question may seem type of broad, and, you know, we do pretty good with broad questions because people chime in, they give their side, their perspective. So it's just out there for now. Is artificial intelligence ungodly? Oh, and keep in mind, AI is racist. It is. That's a fact. You can do your own research over the years, decades, if you will. It is racist. And it also has known to give predetermined decisions and information about who is more likely to commit a crime. Just want to say that, all right? Okay, let me go to area code 914. Hey, we're having a discussion with regards to street barbers. Are you there? 914 on a Wednesday. Yes, no.
Greetings.
Hey. Good evening. Are you there?
Greetings, sir.
Hey.
Yes, greetings.
Yeah.
It's polite from the block.
Okay, babe, you got to do something with the headset, the Bluetooth. It's sounding kind of choppy. Can you make the adjustments?
Yeah, I don't have no Bluetooth.
Okay, sounds better. There you go. What's going on? You want to join the conversation?
Yes. Which one you want to tackle?
It's up to you. I got time tonight. Let's go.
First, I want to say, how you doing?
I'm doing. How about yourself?
Good. So as far as the AI thing, it can't function unless it's programmed.
Right.
So everything comes from a human. So whatever human is programming it, that's how it's going to function.
Can I respond real quick? And can I ask you to turn that down in the background? Whatever you got going, it's bleeding through. Okay.
Let me tell you something right now. I don't have nothing playing. That's my neighbor downstairs TV.
Okay. Well, can you make some type of adjustment so we can hear you? It's bleeding through. But with regards to what you just said, synthetic life forms of robots, AI being programmed, yes. But now new advances in technology, because I'm pretty well versed in the world of AI. There is different systems and programs that AI teaches itself. Do you know that?
But it still has to come from somewhere.
Yes.
Art mimics. Remember, art.
Yeah. There's an origin. There's an origin to the initial software. Yes, but it advances and teaches itself. So I don't know if in the future it can't teach itself to laugh. That's why I'm asking you. But go ahead.
But doesn't the software have to come? It has to start.
Come on.
It has to start. So therefore, a human is starting it. Okay. All of this has happened before. It's just everyone is just trying to get it right.
Continue.
No, I'm just waiting for you to like either agree or disagree. Nothing just happened.
I'm letting you talk, babe. I'm letting you talk. You have the floor.
Okay, I respect it. Nothing just happened.
Okay.
The universe is humans, and everything comes from humans. We have to create it. We walk upright, and the animals walk on four. We just speak English. You feel me?
I hear you.
That's what I'm trying to say, because you're trying to say, is it ungodly? Is it godly? No one can say what's right or what's wrong. Everyone has their own way of thinking. Some people might think it's evil. Some people might think it's not. But it's just on how it's used.
Okay. So at this point in time, in your opinion, is artificial intelligence ungodly? I could have said, is it something different, a different word, evil or the devil, but I wanted to use ungodly to see if I could get a better response. What are your thoughts? Is it ungodly?
I'm going to say it's unworldly.
Okay.
Unworldly.
Worldly.
It's not of this world.
Worldly?
Yes.
Okay.
It's unworldly because eventually anything that's created will evolve, whether you nourish it or not. So when you create artificial intelligence, even if you create it, it's still going to evolve with or without you. And that's the danger in it. Everyone can have all of these Alexas and Siris and smartphones and cars and all of that. But when the motherboard is ready to attack us, we're done for. It's over. iRobot ain't just come out of nowhere. That's a real thing.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's ungodly. I'm just saying it's unworldly.
Okay. Okay. Any thoughts with regards to the street barbers? Again, I want you to have the last word, whether I agree or not. Street barbers. Did you see the video? Yep, speed.
I didn't see the video, but I was listening to the callers calling in.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like being that you got the perspective of like the legal way, like the the hands-on. I'm just giving my perspective of observation. Like, I feel like COVID made a lot of people like entitled.
Right.
Because being that we couldn't go out and get things was very easily coming to us. So I don't even think the title barbers should even be used anymore. It's just stylists. Because now barbers, they do frontals. They do like everything that a stylist would do. Like if you go to a woman and you're getting your hair done, and it's like the appointments and you're getting the facials and you're getting all of it's just stylists now. And everybody is just going to.
Well, the name can change, but the premise of the question, if you will, is it taking jobs away from a traditional Black culture, which used to be a stronghold, if you will, with regards to cutting young Black boys and girls' hair? That's more so the question, rather than what is it going to be the name changed to? Do you think it's taking jobs away?
No, jobs are always going to be there. Okay. It's just for you to conform with how society is moving now.
Okay.
That's all that is.
Get in where you fit in.
Nothing is never.
Get in where you fit in.
Exactly. The game don't change, baby. Only the players.
Okay. I appreciate the call, and I don't see your name.
What is this? Polite from the Bronx. We spoke before.
What's your name?
Polite.
Hey, Polite. How are you?
How you feeling?
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too, darling.
Bye now. Okay. I don't have the answers. I want you to speak. Is artificial intelligence ungodly? I asked a question years ago. Is God a frequency? Hey, Stacy Gloria, I got you donation. AI doesn't have to be ungodly to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to come in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. I would tend to agree with that. And someone else just sent a donation. I couldn't read it fast enough. Is it Mr. Missing 44 Star? The 94 classic Lawnmower Man showed us the ending stage of AI. That was a theory. That was a good film, but it showed us a theory. But thank you for tapping in. Blade, are you calling in, sir? Blade says this type of AI is okay. I can't click a link right now, but thank you, Blade. Bicky, I got your donation. They twerking in Atlanta barbershops. I would probably believe that. Thank you so much, Vicky. And okay, someone else is talking about Mike Tyson. Nah, honestly, I don't have any intention to watch the Mike Tyson fight. When is that, guys? Is it this weekend? It just looks like straight nonsense. Let me go to area code 646. Hey, good evening. We're having a discussion that is not trending with regards to barbershops. So you hit the speed. Area code 646.
Hey, what's going on, Star?
Hey, man, how are you? It's cracking.
Yeah, chilling. Yeah, I sent you a cash app. I was saying that my son's 130, 125.
Okay.
They can't find a young black barber. They used to go to my barber. My barber passed away during COVID, so
okay.
Since then they've been going to like Dominicans on Broadway.
In the New York tri-state?
Yeah, in Harlem.
Harlem. Okay. Wow. Okay. So,
like, to my knowledge, you can't use in Harlem back in the days. You might remember Sam Gore or Master Rob Barbershop. Those are like the only black barbers over there by Broadway.
Sounds familiar.
Like between like 145th and like 135th.
Oh yeah, okay.
There ain't nothing but Dominicans over there.
Oh, you mean now? It's all Dominican now?
Yeah, now. I mean, except for Master Rob and Sam Gore. Other than that, it's only Dominicans.
Okay.
I moved up to Co-op City in 2021. I can't find a black barber nowhere over here.
Wow.
But I started cutting my own hair during COVID, so that's that. The search is over.
You know, I don't necessarily want to assume that black barbers, you know, didn't want to just go through the course. Big Elvis called in with some numbers that sounded pretty steep. You know, a couple of $1,000s to get the a master barber license, if you will. But do you think that it has been treating black barbers unfairly, the whole process, you know, and over the decades to become a master barber?
I mean, I would say over the last maybe 7 to 10 years, I don't think these young boys want to do any type of manual labor. I think these guys want to, like, you know, be internet stars or rappers or an athlete. Like, these guys don't want to work.
Basketball players.
So Dominicans came in, basketball, football, rapper, or want to be like Kai Cenat or some type of streamer. So I'm not sure if it's the fact that they were being treated unfairly or they just not into it. They don't want to do it.
Well, I'm more so was
my oldest son said the last time a black person cut his hair was in college.
Damn. I was more so talking about people from my generation, but you know, maybe it is a dying, you know, craft. Well, not dying, but slowly but surely phasing people out. Again, the video that I watched, I was a little not shocked because everybody hustles in New York on the streets. People are selling all sorts of stuff, but I said, wow, you know, should black men be concerned? But go ahead, finish up, if you will.
Yeah, you know, you showed that picture that guy cutting hair underneath the 4 train. Those are popping up kind of like those Dominican, or I'm not even sure where they're from. They're Latino.
Right.
They got car washes. They got, you know, they're selling food, and now this haircut thing, they really changing the game. So brothers better do something, man. Or like Elvis said before, by 2023, if you don't got a union job or a city job in New York, you know, you're gonna be out of luck.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Sure, okay. We're having a good discussion here about a topic that is not trending. Guys, thank you for your support. Let me make sure I'm not missing any donations here. Okay, I read Stacy Galore's Spanky Big Head tapping in. Was at a private annual investor or conference last year with Sam Altman. Okay. The goal of AI is to solve physics 100%. That's what's scary. Okay. I don't know if that would be the 100% goal, but I hear you. We always have to think about the powers that be wanting to use power for other intentions. That's why we, you know, once upon a time, the Manhattan Project, you know, was what some considered it to be a great thing. They used that to kill millions, right? Earl, I got your donation. AI eventually will become proficient in Bussy-matics, Bussynomics, and Bussy physics. Evolution is real. Let me go to area code 404. Good evening. Having a discussion about street barbers. Are you there? 404.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you in some type of tunnel, sir? What do you got? A headset on?
Let me send off my head.
Can you make the adjustment so we can hear you?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. There you go. How are you, man? It's cracking.
How you doing this evening?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Talking about street
All right,
barbers.
I'm fine.
Street
I have to
barbers.
join into this topic because I love AI, and I've been following the progression of AI. I benefit off of AI. Like, people who are afraid of AI probably grew up with a grandmother who called the computer the devil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or voted Kamala Harris. You know, I believe AI is a wonderful tool for creators, and people should look more into it and not look against it.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on that. Yeah,
you're right. They used to call the internet the devil's highway when it first became known to the public.
Most definitely. I'm from the generation where they called Y2K, like when the internet was coming out. It was like the Y2K era. Everybody thought the world was going to end.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, 1999. When 2000 comes, oh my God, it's going to be a shutdown worldwide, right?
That was right. Like I was young, but I was dead ass scared. Like I was really afraid.
Yeah.
But now, like I feel like AI could benefit a lot of people. I benefit a lot from it, like as far as like getting graphic design projects done and things of that nature and making money off of it. I just feel like people got it all wrong when it comes to that.
Well, I'll give you the last word as I gave the female the last word. And I'm not trying to act like some know-it-all, but what do you think about AI using advanced eugenics to cleanse, if you will? Some people are just not worthy of life itself. Your reproductive systems, you're passing on cancerous cells, and we have 20% of people coming from this part of the world, and their eyesight is not good. People over in this part of the world are sickly. So do you think that AI could possibly try to sterilize humanity?
Wow, yeah, that is something deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like bringing AI into the medical field. That's what I'm saying. The possibilities are endless. Like just to drop a little piece of something that I do with it, I take a picture and literally like make it into a whole. You could turn it into a video, man. It's kind of like groundbreaking technology that we're coming upon.
Hang on, I want to point directly to my question, since I've just spoken about advanced eugenics and Sir Francis Galton, who was the founder of eugenics. He was knighted once upon a time for his work in this.
Hold on, let me write this down. Hold on, can you repeat that name one more time?
Sir Francis Galton. He was the founder of eugenics.
Sir Francis Galton. Can you look that up, baby? Sir Francis Galton.
Mm-hmm. He was the founder of eugenics. I mean, most people in America know about Margaret Sanger.
Oh, you know about that too.
Well, they know about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, but the work itself was done by Sir Francis Galton. I think he was knighted by King Edward. I forget, 1908, 1912, something like that. But using
that's a powerful gem you just dropped. Wow, that's
using
very fascinating.
Advanced eugenics to sterilize the human race. Would that be considered ungodly?
Like the natural cleansing of the soul.
Yeah.
Like becoming the AI. That's literally like people will be walking around becoming the AI.
Well, I'll Google it, but go ahead. Would that be considered ungodly? Advanced eugenics and sterilizing the weak, the unintelligent, and those who are just sucking up valuable air and they serve no purpose. Go ahead.
See, right. That's what I feel like. People who are not willing to adapt to the event, the change of something like that, those are the people who are unworthy of benefiting from it.
Damn.
And that's kind of how it is right now.
So you agree with sterilization? You agree with sterilization and eugenics?
Well, if I would have to, I'm not going to just jump out the window and be like, I agree with that. I would have to like delve deeper into it. But when you think about the whole, when you think about it in a metaphorical sense, yes, the people who don't know might as well, like, you know what I'm saying, just sterilize the niggerism out of this. Like, only, you know what I'm saying, this is information that only people that, you know what I mean? It's going to take more than a person who wake up and go back and forth to work to adapt to this.
Okay. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
Right, no problem.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let me take another call, then I'll come back in a second. Area code 646, good evening. Are you there? We're talking about street barbers possibly taking away jobs from black men. Your thoughts? 646.
Yeah. I mean, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. I think that's half true because within New York, it is one of the biggest Spanish-speaking states among like Florida and Colorado, California.
Okay.
And I don't live in New York anymore, but I used to live in Brooklyn and Staten Island, and like there are black barbershops. And when it comes to the service, you get the black barbers who sometimes they might show up late, or might run out and go holler at a girl while they're cutting your hair. But that's not all of them. that's not all of them. Some of you do have professional barbershops, but a majority are Dominican, and people are people do notice that, like, the Dominican barbershops, they're very, like you said, they do cut hair well. They're very precise. But I wouldn't say maybe just in New York it's fleeting, but like in the South, I would say black barbers are still pretty heavy. You got the mobile barbers, you got like the celebrity barbers. Like this, I would say it's like a big community, especially like in like the southern states. In my opinion, because I'm in the South, and that's what I see.
Okay.
So like maybe just up north, and like I want to say not hating on New York, because that's where I come from, but people who live in New York, they often live in a bubble. They just see things from their perspective because they think New York is the center of the world. So whatever's happening there, they think that it's happening everywhere else.
Well, the video that I saw, the reason why I even took notice to it is because Mayor Eric Adams, he's under the gun right now. His trial is coming up for corruption soon, and he's pretty much done a poor job with New York City. I don't know if you keep up, but a lot of things by way of a sanctuary city and the migrants and giving them debit cards, and that program has since been canceled. I think it was called the pilot program. So when I saw the barber on the street, I was just a little, concerned about whether he has an actual license or not, or whether he even needs one. Maybe there's something new that they did for the migrants, or a different ethnic group that they wouldn't do for, quote unquote, the black man. I think that the black man has been robbed, and is owed reparations to go deeper. Pause. But I said, well, damn, street barbers now.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the police, asking them for paperwork. So I'm curious. Go ahead.
That's kind of crazy, man. The last time I was in New York was in 2022, and I actually stayed in the Bronx for a month straight.
Okay.
And while I was out there, I remember seeing I didn't see like street barbers, but I remember like I would go like wash my clothes, and I would see like they would have like a station for like people to charge their scooters right there on the street, and they would have like the car wash right there, right by the train station. And like, so I mean those dudes they're hustling. So I mean, they don't got no papers or whatever, so like they gain it whatever way that they can.
Respect the hustle. I got it. Respect the hustle. That's what I'm just asking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I guess it is what it is, in New York. And the other topic I just want to touch on real quickly, the AI topic.
Is artificial intelligence ungodly?
Is it ungodly? I mean, it's made by man, so, like a lot of people are afraid of it, like people who don't understand it, people, they're going to fear what they don't understand. Like me, myself, AI helped me get a job. Like, I remember like, for like, I had some questions for a job. I just threw it up in ChatGPT real quick. I got the answers. I got the job. And, yeah, man. So like, I use it every day for like, for like questions and, for even so, cause I work in customer service as well. So like, I'll type something out real quick and then I'll just throw it in ChatGPT for like to rearrange my writing, and then to make it just sound a little bit more solid. Then I'll just put it, just send it back to the person. But I'm a fan of it. I don't think it's ungodly because mostly what it's doing is just pulling all of the information that is already in your system. You know, so like let's say like, well, you probably know how it works already, but yeah, I don't think it's ungodly.
Are you married, sir?
I'm not married.
Okay. What type of porno does AI bring to you based upon your browsing history? What type of porno? Keep it real.
It never did. It never did.
Sir, stop the cap. Sir, stop the cap. We all, sir, we all search, you know, for certain types of porno. You know, I'm always, you know, well, in the past, you know, big breast women in heels, you know, so that would be something that AI has in its memory banks. Oh, he likes big breasted women in stiletto heels. What type of porno do you search for, sir? Keep it real.
Nah, to be honest, like I stopped watching porn, and like when I did, I would watch it on like the incognito mode. Even though I live by myself, I would still watch on incognito mode. So like, you know, just in case somebody was on my computer, so nobody, you know what I mean? They can't see it.
Well, you didn't answer the question, so I said, what type of porno? Type of porno.
Oh, amateur, definitely amateur.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you still think it's not ungodly? I mean, it brings a certain type of slower, you know, whore, if you will, or promiscuous.
I mean,
hedonism directly to you based upon your search. That's not ungodly. You're sitting there at 2:00 in the afternoon. You're doing some serious work, and here comes a goddamn some type of selection that you're not asking to see. It just pops up, bang, on your goddamn laptop or your whatever type of mobile device you use. That's not ungodly and intrusive?
I mean, it, like I said, that's never happened, but I have seen a case where like AI has claimed a life already. I'm not sure if you know about that.
Yeah.
It was like a 14-year-old kid. He's talking to like a AI chatbot, and he's telling it, you know, he's.
I don't want to talk about minors, so we can talk about other things, but let's not talk about minors. Go ahead.
All right, my bad. Yeah, don't want to mess that up, the algorithm.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like with me, like like anything like that pops on my computer is really just I would just say like I guess like from like cookies or whatever, like not really from I guess like possibly it could be the AI, but like it's mostly from cookies or like from like my browsing history.
Yeah.
You know, they giving you ads or like from whatever you're saying, your phone is actually hearing you. You can say like dog food 100 times. Yeah. You open Instagram, and that's what's gonna pop up.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate the call, so thank you. Thank you.
Salute.
Okay. Is artificial intelligence ungodly? I got a question for the live chat. Troll babies. Who's watching tranny porn? Is that ungodly? Somebody's watching tranny porn. Somebody's watching tranny porn. Is that ungodly? I'm not going to say names, but I used to work with a guy. Man, this must have been I was in Philly, 100.3 The Beat. Good guy, would never say his name, but this was like 2011. And nigga was watching tranny porn. Anyway, thank you for your donation. Is it Jaspreet? Yes, it's ungodly. It's eradicating humans. So are we going to listen to AI Star soon? It's a dangerous game. Well, you might be watching an AI Star now. Maybe Star died back in 2008 when he had his liver transplant. Maybe Star was cloned. I don't know. Pooh Nasty, are you tapping in? So you sent me a goddamn paragraph. Pooh Nasty. Pooh Nasty, what area code? Just what? Tell me where you're at, Pooh Nasty, and I'll bring you in, sir. Let me go with area code 585. Good evening. We're having a discussion with regards to barbers, street barbers, to be precise. Are you there? 585.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm here. That's me. I'm
How are you, sir?
David Reese.
Yes, sir. Where do you want to start?
I'm doing good. I'm actually calling because I'm actually a barber, and this whole this subject been heavy on my mind for the last couple of days.
Okay.
No, my problem is with these street barbers. First of all, I don't worry about street barbers because people who really got it want to go get a barbershop experience.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So most of the people who are going to sit on a crate and get their hair cut on a busy side sidewalk, bums.
Okay.
Losers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I'm not worried about them, so they can go ahead and keep going. But then people always talking about barbers, and, you know, they talk about the prices of haircuts and all this stuff. They be complaining, you know, but they never complain when we give out all the discounts to them all the years. You know, we never just complain about their bad kids, you know, or even have to keep their baby mama company when they go to jail for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm listening.
I think they're mad. They hate on barbers. We got to stop that barber hate.
Do you think that your clientele is not necessarily loyal? People who have been coming to you?
No, I got loyal clients. I think it's funny that someone would sit on the street and get their hair cut. You know, that's like I said. I've cut hair on the street before for free for bums.
Okay, I hear you, but from what I could gather in the short period of time that I put some notes together in the research and things like that, people are getting haircuts from these people on the streets. They're just, you know, hey, wow, I can just go over here and get a shape up real quick and keep moving, shaking, and popping. I mean, it's kind of similar. Maybe I'm wrong. It's kind of similar to when you're shopping at the market or something like that, and you're getting ready to check out, and you grab what's called an impulse purchase, a Reese's cup that you don't need, a goddamn lighter, some chapstick, an impulse purchase. So would that be similar?
So, okay, well, in that case, could that happen? Of course. That happens, or, you know, people go on vacation, they get a haircut when they're out of town.
Right.
I would consider that the equivalent of that. I don't think a barber's going to lose a client over somebody, you know, getting their haircut on the street.
Okay.
A real barber, you know, like me, with my own space, I've created an environment for professional people to come.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to want to change that to go sit on the side of the street and get a haircut.
Are you a master barber?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How much was that process?
In New York State.
Okay. How much was that process for the whole thing to get that master barber license?
Well, I didn't go to school. I went to I did the apprentice program, and I had to work under a barber. It was a process, but I was already cutting hair years before I even had my license because I self-taught.
Right, but in order for you to work in a barbershop or a hair salon or some type of setting, if you don't have a master barber license, you have to work under someone else. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah, to get in the shop, you do have to work. You either have to work under somebody or go to school.
Right. So you don't technically, I say this respectfully, you're not a master barber. You have to work under a master barber, right?
No. So reason why I'm considered a master barber is because I worked under a master barber, and then I went and got my license to work in 2000. I had to log in. It was like 2,000 hours under him.
Okay.
And then you could take the test to get a license. So that's why I consider myself a master barber.
Okay. Now I don't know. You consider yourself a master barber, but could you work at a barber shop and let's say 3 other people under you, they do not have a license? Could they work?
That happens all the time.
Could they work under you and your certificate is on that wall because there has to be a master barber on the premises?
That's correct.
Okay. So what you consider,
it has to be.
What you consider yourself is one thing, but do you have that master barber license that hangs on the wall in a barbershop?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, I do. I actually took the test twice because I had let my barber license go because I worked in corporate America for 10 years.
Okay.
And I let my license go. Okay. And then I came back and I let my license go and I went back to cutting hair. I had to take it up, do it all over again. But I do have a master barber license. But the master barber license, and this is a thing, is a myth, YouTube, because the truth is, once anybody who has the New York State license, you know, really could consider themselves a master barber because there's no master barber's license.
Okay.
And I don't think a lot of people know that either. When they say that, like, you know, it's not really there's no one has a certificate on their wall that says master. You know, it says it on the certificate, but you could graduate school, but you only do it in a couple of months, and then you could walk out on your last day, only cut 4 heads, be calling yourself a master barber because you passed the test.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate the knowledge. Anything else with regards to this topic? You don't think that this is an infringement upon barbers like yourself, people on the streets? I mean, I heard you say they're bums, the people who patronize those street barbers, but they appear to be getting their weight up. Yes, no?
Well, everybody starts somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad at anybody starting in any business, including barbering. Right. And I also believe that they're not competition for people like me, because I also believe that even their situation, the cream always going to rise to the top anyway.
Gotcha.
So they're not bothering.
Got you. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a good night, brother.
Okay. He slipped a brother in there. Area code 813. You there? Good evening. 813.
Yeah, man. What's up, Star?
Hey, man. How are you, sir? What's cracking?
I'm all right, man. Everything's good.
Okay.
So your topic is about the barbershop in New York?
Yeah. Did you see the video?
You
saw the video?
Yeah. I seen the video. My thing is that, man, the barbershops need this little competition because they charge you too much. So this little like barbershops on the street is worth it because these barber nowadays costing $40, $50. I'm forced to come on here, Star. Like I'm coming on here. I'm not going to these barbershops charging $50 for a haircut, $100. I'm not doing that. These barbershops on the street, they will take over because, you know, sooner or later some people are going to be trying to head towards them because they need cheaper haircut. No one's spending no $40. It's inflation. No one's spending that type of money, Star. I'm telling you.
Now, hang on a second. I'm so glad you put that on the table because I was thinking about that in the back of my mind. I've seen people online complaining about the prices that barbers charge.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to raise the price to keep a certain clientele away. You know, just like the Star Report. I won't take a donation under $5. If you're trying to send me $1.99, $2, I'm looking at you like you're a bum and you shouldn't be here. Take your 99 cents someplace else. It's all about clientele, and you know, you feel me. So I don't have an issue with barbers charging how much now? 50, 60, something like that.
40, 50.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure if you go to a white barber, they probably hit you for double that. Yes or no?
I mean, no one's going to white barbers because you black. White barbers don't know how to cut black people here. So 9 out of 10 times we're not going to them. We'll probably go to like a Dominican, and they charging cheaper than the black folks. I think it's the black people they charge more.
Right.
Them will charge more money. But I mean, if they charge you more, there's always like a competition out there to lowball them. So, okay, you charging 50, I'm going to charge 10, I'm going to charge 20, and I probably might steal your clientele. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I might steal it.
Okay.
I'm charging less. But yeah, man, those barbers nowadays is crazy.
So now, hang on,
man, I live in the Bronx, so.
Okay, so you're in the BX. You're in the BX. Have you seen multiple street barbers, I don't know, maybe on the Grand Concourse or someplace, have you
Fordham
seen
Road,
Fordham
Grand
Road,
Concourse,
Fordham Road, yeah,
Grand Concourse, mainly probably in Fordham since like it's busy area over there, you know, in Fordham shopping center and shit.
Right,
it's busy over there.
Please watch the language. Please watch the language.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Pardon me. Yeah, so it's busy in Fordham, so it's mainly over there and like near like or like the train lines, mainly like the 4 and 5 train lines, they're under there. But I mean, it should be legal. I don't think they should have a problem with like the cops bothering them. But like how I said, it's more like a cheaper alternative than going to a barbershop that's charging $40, $50. Sometimes, I just need like a little cut, to go to like a little baby shop or something. I'm not trying to spend no $60 on no haircut. Star? God, yeah. Golly.
But let me ask you another question. Stay with me. So now what about the customer service? You a father?
Yeah. He has a father. I have 2 daughters. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you have 2 daughters. You don't have a son?
No son.
Okay. Well, let's use your daughters for an example. So you take your daughters. I would imagine you have to a hair salon, right, from time to time.
Yeah.
And if you get great service, you don't mind paying, a little extra, right? You want to be in a safe environment, and you'll drop a $20 tip, maybe more, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So if you see these Dominican street barbers, great service, a smile, you wouldn't get your hair done real quick because you gotta go someplace, you gotta catch a plane. I don't know. You wouldn't patronize them?
I would patronize them, but I would pay the standard fee and tip well.
Okay.
If that's the case.
Okay.
I'll pay let's say it's like $20, $25, $30. Right. I will tip well if the establishment is clean and I'm enjoying it and stuff like that. It's clean, safe, and stuff like that for my daughter. So I would tip well. I love to tip well, especially if I have like a good service there. So that's the only way. But some of these guys, they're coming to their houses to cut their hair. So I'm providing the safety plus the establishment, and you're going to charge me $60, $70? Nah, get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call. Do you want to tap it on the showrunner? Is artificial intelligence ungodly? Any thoughts or no?
One thought on that. Artificials, it's the next way, but I feel that people might take it overboard, and as far as like trying to replace human beings with AI, I feel that it's great. But
hang on. Yes, I'm headed in the direction of getting a synthetic life form. You've heard me say this before, yes?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely heard you say. I think it's a great idea.
I don't argue with women. Why would I argue with you? I'm the goddamn prize. So I might as well get an artificial life form, and it's not just a sex thing, but she would literally be a walking encyclopedia and a recorder.
Yeah.
A walking recorder.
Same thing like Alexa. Yeah. It's like a live walking Alexa. Don't argue, don't say nothing back. You just do what I say, and you just do what I say and don't say anything else.
But would that be considered ungodly?
I would say that if you are a believer in Christ, yes, that's ungodly because it's not natural. It's not of God's form. God didn't make that. But then again, there's the argument of we made it, so then therefore God had made it if we made it because God made us. But it's a lot of gray area with that. But me personally, no, it's not. But a lot of people would say it is.
I would say yes. It's ungodly. Yeah,
it's ungodly. It's ungodly. God wouldn't want that. No, because you can't.
But now here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'll let you finish up. Your morals, ethics, and your values don't come to you by way of this God-like religion or whatever you classify God to be. That's more so conceptual integrations. But when you put your ego before the theory of God, you exit God out. So yes.
Yeah.
So yes, being with a synthetic life form is ungodly.
It's ungodly.
It's ungodly. And that can be a beautiful thing. Go ahead, finish up.
Oh man. You're 100% right on certain terms. Like it can't be like a good thing for the man who doesn't want to deal with the heartache and the combativeness of a female. And then it can be a bad thing because he could get too used to that he doesn't want the female anymore. And then the female is out of the equation. So yes, it's ungodly. Will I do it in the future? Me, no, because I have a companion. She's right here next to me. But yeah, it's ungodly, Star. It's ungodly.
Thank you for your call, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. Enjoy your night.
Yes,
Enjoy your
sir.
night.
Okay.
All right.
I let that man speak. But in reality, when you have a woman that's, she's been around for a lot of years, she becomes a ball and chain. Gotta get an amen for real niggas in the live chat. I don't want to be explaining myself where I've been, where I'm going. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is the man I want to talk to. Yes, sir. David D. Cordova from Today's Religious Talk on YouTube. Are you there, sir?
Hey, sir. How's it going?
Great to hear from you, man. You want to tackle the showrunner, or you want to talk about the street barbers?
Well, I stopped going to the barber a long time ago because the prices are outrageous over up here in Canada.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like looking at like $50 for a cut. After COVID, there was a time where you can get a haircut for like $30 plus the $5 tip, but now like most of them they raised it to $45 plus the $5 tip. So, and God help you if they touch your facial hair, because then that's another increase. So it could get like deep. It could go up to like $60 sometimes for a regular visit to the barbers. So
okay.
I learned to cut my own hair, so I don't fool around with that. But very pricey up here. So
I have your information on the screen, youtube.com/@ Today's Religious Talk. What do you want to chime in on? Is artificial intelligence ungodly?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. That's my position. I think artificial intelligence is ungodly because it's unnatural. And anything that supports an unnatural lifestyle is a substitute. And I believe that would be ungodly because in the Bible, Satan's goal is always to supplant and to take over what's natural. And I believe artificial intelligence is going to supplant and take over human intelligence. So it's that's the motive to replace us.
Yeah.
And so 100%. I think it is ungodly, just like the rest of these. I call it technology, or technological. Everything in the name of technological advancement. But what is it going to do for humanity? And sometimes I'm conflicted because I want to be on the right side of history because the direction that we're going as a human species, technology is going to play a role. But I feel like it is to supplant and take over. Like when you look at virtual reality or robotics and AI, I think these are the three components of a technological takeover. What is the impact it's going to have on society? Because an augmented reality or virtual reality is going to replace your reality. People are going to be strapped up to headsets.
Let me jump in right there. Let me jump in right there. And I would agree with you, minus the Bible aspect of what you interjected. And never mind the Bible. I mean, if you consider God or the theory of God to be the pinnacle of excellence or the omnipotent power, then artificial intelligence is ungodly. But now, is that a bad thing? You keep talking about society. Are you concerned about society and people of lesser means and those who are sickly? I mean, not that you wish death upon people, but are you concerned about those who are, headed into a certain direction, regardless of your intervention or not?
I am a concerned overall society, or even like if you want to say human civilization, because the dependency, the heavy reliance on technology is going to be crippling in the future. What it's going to do to people overall. You talk about the
But you won't be around, so let's go back. So why are you concerned? And you are a God-fearing person, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So hang on, let me just lay this out, and then
sure.
Go back to you.
Sure.
So whether somebody chokes on a goddamn chicken wing or accidentally, falls and stabs themselves with a screwdriver, wouldn't that quote unquote be God's will?
Yeah, because the Bible says nothing happens, saith the Lord, allow it.
Bingo.
So technically, you're right. Yeah,
Bingo,
it would. And it raises the question: do we live in a just world? Because if God is orchestrating the plays behind the scenes, then that means it's always justice, because everything happens through God's making it happen. So I would have to say yes.
You're a beautiful wife that you've been married to for 3 months. She's you've been dating her for longer than 3 months, but you've been married for 3 months, and she's driving home with your beautiful seed. She falls asleep, flips the goddamn car over. The car goes off the goddamn cliff, and she dies, and the baby. That's God's will.
That would be the will of God.
Will of God.
Unfortunately,
don't question it. Accept it.
Nope.
It's God's will.
Yeah, because we don't know, who knows, even reincarnation. We don't know what we're paying for. That's the thing. I'm a heavy believer in that. We don't know what we're paying for.
Reincarnation?
So
reincarnation?
Yeah, I do believe in reincarnation, because it justifies why some people have more, the less fortunate. A lot of things. It makes sense to me. Like spiritual bloodlines, people that have suffered their ancestry. And then you see some people rich and prosperous and blessed because they deserve it, because it's through their bloodline, because their foreparents suffered like hell. And that's why sometimes you see people, you say, oh, they don't deserve to be that wealthy, or why do they have that? It's generational. They deserve it because that's what came down through they inherited it. But not to stray away too much from the topic. But yeah, I think all this is unnatural, and it's going to have a crippling effect on society, and it's going to supplant and take over. And that's the methodology of Satan, or the devil. It's always to supplant and take over what's natural. So, but the real thing, see, I'm so fortunate. This is why social media, because I think that the religious institutions are overlooking this. So thank God for social media. Thank God for talk shows like this, because it's
thank God for Star. Then hang on a second.
you bet. You bet. Yeah. You bet. Yeah. No, for real though.
No, but listen, you and I have great conversations. I want to make sure I'm pointing people to your platform on YouTube, youtube.com/@today's religious talk. My audience really appreciates you when you call in. What is that's awesome. What is the last video that you've posted, and what's the next video that you're getting ready to do on your platform, David?
I did a lot of shorts. Right now, I'm actually focused on my live stream. So I promised that I would try to hop on this thing once a week. I'm having a great time, by the way. It's really fun. It's really fun. It's exciting. And also the preparation, like people take it for granted. Like you don't just hop on these microphones or on these videos and just start talking. Preparation is key. Like I do research during the week.
Yes.
And I try to come up with a topic and compile the information. That way, when I get online, I know what I'm talking about, because this is not something you can fake or just be halfway through with it. You got to be thorough. So
preparation.
So yeah, I'm focused on my live stream. This is one of my primary focuses, actually technology versus spirituality. So I'm discussing things like virtual reality, the robotization of the workforce, and also artificial intelligence. So this is the focus of mine. I'll be discussing this at length on my platform as well, because also, just continuing with the shorts, I just try to stimulate interest, because I just want to have the conversations that are not being held within the religious institution. Because nobody's talking about this. And, you go to church, the pastor's not telling you about AI. He's not telling you about robots. You know, he's just going to preach under the Bible. But are they adequately preparing the congregants for what is to come, and how technology is going to displace spirituality?
If I had to guess,
You know?
A lot of the quote unquote ministers and pastors are trying to keep their flock, uninformed.
You bet.
Uninformed to a certain degree. He and or she claims to be anointed, to spread the word, if you will. So I don't know if they would necessarily try to enlighten people. They talk with them, but I can't be certain.
Yeah, they're not educating people for the challenges that are ahead. I had someone ask me, they say no question stupid, but they're like, oh, what does technology have to do with religion on my platform? And I try to be nice to everyone, but I'm thinking, man, the Bible is talking about a global dictator that's going to impose a biologically embedded digital device implant into you that nobody can buy or sell or transact business without this microchip.
Hang on a second, David. Let me jump in. You say you try to be nice to everyone. I want to make sure we address that before you go. Sophisticated Ignorance sends in a donation saying reincarnation is not possible, nor is it in his will. Separate emotions from scripture. Reincarnation.
Separate emotions.
It's on the screen right there, if you can see it. He says reincarnation is not possible. I don't subscribe to reincarnation. Can you give us any example of someone or something that has come back?
Yeah. Well, Jesus, he kept saying, verily I say to you, ye must be reborn. He said it. I didn't say it. He was telling the people, you got to do a return trip. It's a concept. It exists in Judaism, but somehow in Christianity, it doesn't exist. And Jesus is the main proponent of Christianity, and he was a Jew.
Well,
so this is what I mean.
Hang on.
Certain things don't make sense.
Hang on. Now, the story of the resurrection is a very common story during the time of Jesus of Nazareth, right? And even maybe 900 years prior to him even existing, they were talking about immaculate conceptions and resurrections. But other than Jesus, has anyone or anything died and come back that you can say is solid proof?
No. These are myths and legends. Mithra, Horus, all through. There's always been these legends have existed. The story before Jesus. So we have no. That's why I like when you say, "Was it faith without verification or belief without verification?"
Trust.
So we can't verify.
Trust with no verification.
Yeah, that's a heavy line. We can't verify.
Well, okay.
But reincarnation, I just think we keep returning to learn. It's almost or a punishment or whatever. You see some people suffering. When I see people suffering on the street, I say, what's the justification for that? Why is this person's life turned to the sewer like that? Yeah. Is he paying for something? Did he make mistakes? It's just one of those things I've always speculated. It just makes sense.
Can I throw a show idea at you for your platform?
Please. Yeah.
Why do men of God fall victim to homosexuality? I'll say it twice. Why do men of God fall victim to homosexuality? Wow. All right.
It's true too, because we've seen examples.
Well,
so or do they do certain types of people, are they attracted to certain professions?
Hang on a second. When you if you address that, send me a link whenever next week, 2 weeks, and I'll post that in my community section. But make sure you include Ted Haggard.
Yeah.
Ted Haggard. He was the biggest of the big. You know that name.
Ted Haggard.
Ted Haggard fell from grace. Wound up doing booty bumps with male escorts. Ted Haggard.
Wow.
Start with him. But listen, man, I got to take other calls. Great to hear from you, David.
For sure. Great to be on the platform.
Salute,
great topic too. So
thank you, man.
I'm tapped in. Thank you, Star.
Okay.
Peace out. Peace.
Great guy, David D. Cordova. 561. Are you there? 561. Good evening.
Yeah, what's happening, man? What's happening? What's cracking?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking, man. Where do you want to start?
Good. Yeah, on the barber subject, you know, it's like you get what you pay for, right?
Okay.
So you know, I've been going. As a man, I think you get a relationship with your barber. I've been going to my barber for decades.
Okay.
And you know, to go to a street barber, you know, a license is like, you can't be driving a car without a license. You can't be cutting hair without a license.
Right.
You have no recourse. You got no recourse. Hey man, you messed my hair up. What's going on? You cut me, you whatever. You know, I'm gonna report you to Better Business. You can't do that with a street barber.
Right. But now, hang on a second. The street barbers, from what I could see, correct me if I'm wrong, they're on the rise. Is this due to COVID? Is there some type of lackadaisical laws in the New York tri-state? The video that I posted in my community section is from the Bronx.
Yeah. I seen them videos too on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, man, I mean, you know, it's like, I also seen videos on YouTube on Fordham where there's a store across. These guys set up tables right across from the store.
Bingo.
Like they're competing with the store.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so that's my question. If there's no real overhead, doesn't this cut into, you know, traditional barbers, as you just spoke about, having a relationship with your barber? Doesn't that cut in if he's going to undercut your barber by, let's say, $15? You can't get a hold of your barber. Would you use a street barber if, you know, you're in a rush, you got to be somewhere, you got a fresh new outfit, your barber's not around, and this guy's like, yo, Poppy, I can hook you up?
I say, yo, Poppy, you ain't hooking me up. Because you're taking food out of my boy's mouth, man.
You would really say really say that, and you wouldn't utilize his services. Come on.
No, man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you bro.
It's okay.
But if my barber is not available, I'll wait till he is.
Okay.
Because I try to plan B barber.
Okay.
And then I had to go to my fix this up, man.
So,
you know what I'm saying? I had to pay twice.
So
my barber, he charges me $30. I tip him $20. So I give him $50 every 2 weeks. $50 every 2 weeks.
For yourself or for your kids, can I ask?
Oh, I got daughters. They go to a salon.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. How much is
salon is the whole.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, how much is a salon trip for a daughter? How much are we talking here?
Oh my God. Oh man, bro. That's astronomical, man. We're talking 100 a piece, bro.
Yeah.
100 a piece. Easily. And then you know, then you got a tip. You know, my barber, I give him a Christmas card, I give him Thanksgiving, you know, bring a bottle for New Year's. That's what I pay for. You know, that's just because I'm old school, man. I was born in '64. I'm 60 years old.
Okay.
You know, I'm a little different in some, you know.
Right. Okay.
And as far as the AI thing,
it's just a question.
Yeah, the AI thing. You know, I remember. I know you remember this too, Star. When you had to get up from the couch and go change the TV channel.
Very early in my life, but yeah, that was, man, we talking early 70s when you had to get up and you had to go change the channel for your mother and father.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, did the remote control change the world? Yeah, it made everybody fatter.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, man.
Salute. Okay. We're looking at live chat, guys. How much is a trip to the salon for a daughter? Let's say a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. Let me go to area code 980. Good evening. Are you there? 980. We're talking about the New York street barbers, or possibly nationwide.
Hi, Star.
Hey. Who's this?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great.
Yes. So I want to talk. I know we're talking about the street barbers in New York or whatever.
Okay.
But I want to talk. This my topic relates, but I just want to talk about how like children's haircut prices. And I have 2 boys, and they're like in the same age. They're under 15. So I have a 10-year-old and I have 11-year-old. And my problem is that I don't mind paying the $50 for both kids, but $50 for one apiece, that's a lot, especially when their head is little. And I'm gonna be honest, half of these barbers be trying to love you and try to get your number and want to talk to you and don't even be cutting the kid's hair right and chase you. I'm just trying to get. I'm gonna be honest. I had a barber that I was talking to. Only one barber I talked to out of all the barbers. And he became crazy. Like, it came to the point where he didn't even want to cut their hair if I wasn't going to talk to him. And then he wanted me to schedule an appointment. And I'm like, if I'm talking to you, why do you want me to schedule an appointment? You should just cut their hair. I'll pay. But these barbers, and then going to other barbershops, they just can't cut the kids' hair. They want to, make conversation, get your number. And I'm just like, let's just keep this business. Right. And then I've been to a couple other barbers in New York where they don't even cut the kid's hair right. Like, I have to say, yo, can you make his line up or whatever you call it? Like, it's not even straight. It's like lopsided. Like, it's like they don't even do good jobs half of the time.
Can I jump in? So with all due respect, is the father of your 2 boys, is he around? Does he take them to the barbershop?
He's not around, but when he was around, he used to cut their hair themselves.
Okay.
I live in North Carolina. I live in Charlotte. I don't live in New York no more. So. Got you.
So how much are the haircuts in Charlotte for 2 boys?
Well, they be taxing out here. So I've been to some shops where it's $25, and that's not even for a design or a little design or a little like, what do they put, like a little side cut or whatever?
The half moon or the three lines or something like that.
Yeah, not even that. And then they have like, okay, so standard is a regular haircut. A designer haircut could go from $35 and up.
Right.
And they don't even comb the kids' hair out. They don't even spray no shine. It's like in and out. They just be on the women and not even cutting the kids' hair right.
Okay.
But I was able to find a barber after a couple years, because the other barber, I had to leave him alone because he started acting crazy and getting emotional. But my one barber, listen, my one barber, he's been rocking with me, and my son is autistic, and he's understandable. He doesn't get frustrated if my son moves around or whatever.
Okay.
But there's some good barbers where, that you don't even have to pay. They just want to look at you, to be honest. I walked in the shop before and they was I walked in the shop before.
Let me ask you a question. Are there any street barbers in Charlotte, North Carolina where you are? Or is it hasn't got down there yet? Street barbers.
I don't believe so. They're not up to date. Like, how in New York they have 24-hour hair salon and braiding and stuff like that. Charlotte is still stuck in the past.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about how, it is expensive for getting a kid's haircut. I don't think it should be $100. It shouldn't be $200 a month. I don't mind tipping, and I don't mind paying a firm price. But if the haircut's not going to be lined up right and you're not going to add product and I have to be like, could you fix that? It's kind of frustrating.
Okay. I appreciate
that's it.
The call. Thank you.
Bye.
Good evening. Are you there? 972. We're talking about a few topics, mainly street barbers. 972. Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's happening now?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hey, what's happening now, boss?
Yes, sir. You joining the conversation?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually my first time calling.
Okay.
Yeah, I had found you in the algo. Yeah, so yeah, I actually super chatted earlier, just talking about
Well, sir, there sounds like there's some type of echo or something, or a delay. Do you hear a delay? Can you make some adjustments? I appreciate your donation.
Yeah, give me like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second.
See if I need to make a correction.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. How about now?
It's a little better. Go ahead. You were saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had super chatted. Just mentioned, like me myself personally, I grew up with the luxury of my older brother being a barber. Yeah.
Okay.
So once he had pretty much moved out the house, and or should I say, take that back. Once I left the state, so once I moved on, that luxury was gone until whenever I went back to visit. Okay. But just with that being said, just having that luxury and then having to come out of pocket, coming out of pocket, especially as prices increased.
Sir, are you smoking Sherm stick, respectfully?
Say who?
Are you smoking Sherm stick? There's a lot going on. I'm trying to be patient, but you're kind of killing the vibe here. Okay, so with regards to the topic, street barbers, are there any street barbers where you are? Street barbers.
I'm in Dallas. Okay. Yeah, so
okay.
Really no street barbers, but you do have a lot of quote unquote concierge barbers who cater to the celebs and yada yada yada. Especially out here, which like I mentioned in the super chat, they've killed and flatlined the market for the like a lot of your local barbers, and then so you might have.
So hold on 1 second. Troll babies, do I let them keep talking? Troll, let me just ask my kids, sir. Troll babies, talk to me. I'm a patient man, but I can't let you take the show off the rails just yet. Sound like you're smoking Sherm stick. Okay, so
everybody's smoking on Sherm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
sir, my kids said I got to get you off the line, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Okay.